great place, Speaker's Corner. You can say whatever you like, and I come here and do say whatever I like. And my reason for coming here, I stick up for Israel's right to exist and to defend itself, and the rights for the Palestinians to have their own state. And I've got a t-shirt with a Palestinian flag on it and an Israeli flag on it. I want two states living happily together, happily ever after. And the Palestinians have never had a state, but now they've got a chance to. Israel's had them in the past, in biblical times, and now I'm glad they've got a state again. A safe place for Jews to go to if there's persecution. That's great. Shame they need a safe haven, but they do, and they've got one now. And I want the Palestinians to be able to go work in Israel and earn lots of money, and the Israelis to go and spend their money as tourists in Palestine, and it'll be good for both of them. And I'd love it if there were some Israelis were allowed to live in Palestine. They always had done, but they were all kicked out in 1948. But hopefully if the Palestinians, when they get their own state, their own government, will allow some Jews, Israelis, to live there. And they'll spend their money there, and it'll ensure good relations between the two. So, and I urge people, if you're not sure about Israel, because he has so many different things about Israel, go and visit Israel. You can fly there with EasyJet for £200 return. See what it's like. You'll see Jews and Arabs living together. You'll see Arabs in the Israeli police force, Arabs in the Israeli army. All the street signs in Hebrew and Arabic, and English for the tourists. In the Israeli parliament, which you can go visit, there are Jews and Arabs. The third largest party in the Israeli parliament is an Arab party. Great food there. If you're vegan, best place in the world for vegans. Israel is the birthplace of veganism. Back in biblical times, in Genesis, the first diet God gave us was the vegan diet. So it's really easy, but if you like meat, there's plenty of meat there as well. And there's beaches there, lovely beaches on the Mediterranean coast. If you like snorkeling, go down to the Red Sea in the south. Coral reefs there, it's great for snorkeling. If you want to lie and float, go to the Dead Sea, float in the Dead Sea. If you want nightlife, go to Tel Aviv. The nightclub's going all night long. If you want a bit of culture, go to Jerusalem. It's been described as the world's largest open-air museum. You really feel like you're walking back into history. And you can see why Israel's called the startup nation. It's a modern, dynamic country. People who like to talk to tourists. They speak good English there. So I recommend going there, seeing what it's like, and coming back, having good views of both Israel and Palestine, of Jews and Arabs. And go visit a mosque. Do you know, in Israel, there's over 400 mosques. Most of them were built since the State of Israel was created. There's 2 million Muslims in Israel. 2 million mosques in Israel. But you will find some Arabs who want to just disrupt free speech.
I'm heckling.
But in Israel, the Jews won't act like this. Sadly, you will find people like this amongst the Arabs. It's sad, but don't judge all Arabs by this man.
I'm not even an Arab, mate.
Don't
judge all white people by this racist as well.
Most people are good, decent people. Some give them all a bad name.
Jewish terrorism.
It's sad. It's sad that they give the people a bad name.
Palestine is occupied by Jewish terrorism.
The Japanese don't act like this.
I don't recognise that terror colony.
The Chinese don't.
Terror colony. It's a terror colony.
Most people don't.
Terror colony.
Sadly,
terror colony.
there are some parts of the world where people are like this.
It's due to white supremacy.
That's
it. White
He's
supremacy
against the whites.
That Jewish
He's against the whites, yeah.
Because in World War I,
and why is he here in Britain?
And the world was
he doesn't
ending.
want to live
That's what
in
they
the country.
David
Lloyd
George
like
Weber, the PM in World War I.
He wants to live in a country
he called it the last crusade.
by Westerners.
Yeah, and they didn't want the Jews
I
to come
don't blame
here
him.
because they thought Jesus was coming back.
I don't blame him wanting to live here
the last crusade,
in Britain,
World War I,
in a democracy.
It's a terror colony.
We have free speech.
It's a religious
Sadly, He doesn't like free speech.
Due to white supremacy.
He just shouts people down. He shouts people down. His mentality is from the third world.
Are there no black people in
No,
Israel?
he's pointing out the
Is that what you're
fact.
telling
Well,
me?
they give the black people drugs to stop them having children.
Let's ask him.
Come on,
Where are you
please.
from?
Come on.
Where are you
Where
from?
where I'm from? Why you
Where
getting
are you
angry?
from?
Don't get angry, mate. Don't get angry.
I'm not angry.
Why you getting angry?
I'm asking
now
you
the
where
truth
you're
is coming out.
from.
You're getting angry, yeah?
He
You're
won't
getting
say
angry.
where he's
It's a
from.
terror colony. It's a terror colony. It's a terror colony. They
is not
murder
acting
Muslims
like
every day.
British.
They murder
I've lived
children
all
every
my
day.
life in Britain.
They murder children.
Most
It's
Britons
a
do not
terror
act
colony.
like him.
It is a terror colony.
Only
It's
those
a terror
Britons
colony.
who came from the
Jewish
Middle
terror
East
colony.
or
It's a
South
terror colony.
Asia
That's racist.
act
That's
like him.
racist.
It's not
Obviously,
race.
he's a racist.
It's
You
nothing
have
to
to be a
do with the
racist
skin
to
colour.
support the Jewish
It's
terror colony.
nothing to do with the
Only
skin
racists
colour.
and white
Face
supremacists
yourself.
support the terror
Don't
colony of
hide
Israel.
behind your skin
It's a
colour.
white supremacy terror
He
colony.
is acting in a stupid, ridiculous way.
But he's British and you're calling him from South Asia. How do you know he's from South Asia?
I asked him where he was from originally. He was
does
too
it
embarrassed to say.
Why
He
does
was
it
too
matter?
embarrassed to say where he's
Why
from.
does it originally matter? If he's a British passport,
You know-
he's British, isn't it?
Because they bring their mentality with
Well,
them.
they could say that to you.
They
You're
bring
Jewish.
their
They could say that
mentality
to
with
you.
them.
They could say you brought your mentality from Israel or from
I
Germany or from
didn't.
Poland.
I'm
They
British.
could say the same
So
to
my
you.
parents,
They
my
could say they
grandparents,
brought the.
my great grandparents.
From where? Russia?
From
Poland?
Britain.
From
From
Russia,
Britain.
Poland, Lithuania?
You don't look
From
British.
Britain. And it's sad to see people giving all coloured people a
Why
bad
do you
name.
ask people where
It's
do they come
sad.
from?
It's sad.
Are you Jewish?
I never meet the Japanese acting like
Are
that.
you Jewish?
The Chinese don't act
Jewish?
like
Yeah,
that.
the Jewish act like that.
Half Jewish.
Half Jewish. So
Dad's
you're half,
Christian,
you're-
mum's Jewish.
So you're half immigrant because the Jews are from Poland and Lithuania. They came here from
They came from
Russia,
the Middle East,
Poland.
actually. The
Exactly.
Middle East.
So they could say the same thing about
Nazi
you.
Jews, not
Yeah.
all
And the
Jews.
Jews
And
have
then
done
you can
great
say-
things in Britain.
The Ashken, the,
Yeah,
major-
Jews have done
the
great
majority of
things
British
in
Jews in the
Britain.
UK are Ashkenazi.
You're an immigration
Exactly.
officer.
So
Why do you asking
The
people
Jews
where
have
do
done
you come
great
from?
things for Britain. Absolutely.
yeah, but they
We've
could say
set
you
up
brought your
loads
mentality
of
from-
factories,
He can say you brought
banks,
your mentality from
businesses,
Poland. He say- he
and
can
we
say you
don't
brought your
act like
mentality
that
from
man.
Poland.
Jews observe free speech,
Jews are the
unlike that man
troublemakers.
there, who's gone now,
Yeah,
thank
shooting
goodness.
Palestinian protesters.
I feel sorry for people like that man. What goes through their head that makes them end up like that? It's so
I
sad.
feel sorry for the Jews.
We're the richest, most successful
feel
people on the
sorry
planet.
for them.
You don't need to feel sorry
They
for
are the
us.
troublemakers.
Really? I'm very happy, thank you. I don't need your sympathy.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Where are you from?
Why do you ask that? Are you an immigration
I was
officer?
going to say, it's people from your country we should feel sorry for.
Why should we feel sorry for people from
Imagine
your
he said that
country?
about Jews.
England, don't you feel sorry for the English? Millions of people come to live in England. After we did
Because they
Brexit,
went to all other countries.
5.6
That's why
million
everybody comes
Europeans registered to live in
Because
England.
you are there, that's why
Why?
they are here.
Because it's a lovely place to live.
It's the
Why
horrible
did you go
place
to
to
Israel and
live.
get
All
Israeli-
over the world,
Why did you
people
go
come to
Israel
live in
and get
England.
Israeli-
And they get fucked
They
up.
come from Pakistan to live in England because England is so much nicer than Pakistan.
So why don't you go to
They
Israel?
come from
You've got your Israeli
Bangladesh.
passport. Why don't you go to the land of Zion?
Come from all
Why did
over.
you go to other countries?
Why don't you go to the land of Zion?
The British, why did they go to other